everyone, Chef Earl, and today I'm demoing cut biscuits. Now, these are a little different than the Red Lobster biscuits that you guys know of, those cheddar garlic ones. These are gonna be the cut biscuits. These are the ones that maybe your grandparents have done, that you remember doing, working with them in. I'm using just a regular old can for my cut biscuits. This is how I learned. My grandmother always used an old can. So let's jump in and do this. All right, so I'm going to level off 3 cups of all-purpose flour. There's my 1 cup. My 2nd cup. And my 3rd. Now I'm going to use the leavener of baking powder. So I'm only going to need an acid or a liquid to activate it because this already has cream of tartar in it. So I'm using 4 tablespoons of baking powder, leveling these off as well. Now, my liquid is going to be buttercream. You could use regular milk and a teaspoon of vinegar or a teaspoon of lemon and make buttercream yourself. You would just pour out your 1 cup of milk, add your teaspoon, stir it around, and let it sit for 1 or 2 minutes, and then it would turn into buttercream. So I'm going to, I've already preheated my oven to 450 degrees, and then I'm gonna go ahead and grab my cold butter. Now, I've left my butter in the freezer to ensure that it doesn't become room temperature. This is very important. I want it to melt before it gets to the oven. This is going to allow our biscuits to be really fluffy and buttery in the center. So this is 3/4 cup. Of cold butter that I've just and add the rest, just a little more, because who doesn't like butter? That I've just grated and then put right back in the freezer. Since I've already shredded it, I don't need to cut it or use a pastry brush, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and add my egg. My 1 egg. And my buttercream. Now the buttercream is pretty thick. And that's what we're wanting. All right, I have a clean hand. You could use a whisk for this, but I always like to use my hand when it comes to my biscuits. And there's my preheated oven. It's singing to me. Now, if you wanted to spice up your biscuits, this is where you could add some fresh herbs. You could go ahead and add cheddar cheese, garlic. Whoops, got a little too excited. But my grandmother always liked just plain biscuits. I'm getting all excited over here. All right, so you can start to see it's coming together. I can press it together. There we go. I don't want to overwork it and melt my butter, so I'm going to quickly set this off to the side. Powder my surface. Put this out. I'm gonna lightly press it together. Again, I don't wanna overwork this and overwork my dough and my butter. Let's see if I don't have a rolling pin right in front of me. That is okay. I can just press my dough down. Get it level enough. We'll move all this excess flour out of our way. There we go. Now, I'm gonna take my can. I've already washed it out. This is my biscuit can. And I'm gonna start to cut out my biscuits. There's one nice one. There's my second. And I'm just pressing down. I'm really trying not to twist so much. If you twist when you're cutting your biscuits, you're closing it up. And your biscuits won't rise like they should. So try not to twirl your cookie cutter or your can. Now, if you don't have a can or a cookie cutter, could you actually cut them? Yes, you can, and I will show you. Again, pressing down, don't want to work it too much. I can already tell my butter's starting to melt, and you could make little square biscuits as well, okay? So there we go. I'm gonna do it one more time. We now have our squared biscuits and our round ones. Could you put them in the cast iron? Yes. If you are putting biscuits in your cast iron skillet, I would make sure that it had a little butter melted in it. Then you'd place your biscuits down. If it is on a baking sheet like I'm doing right now, with my round ones, I like to put them together. With my square ones, I like to kind of leave them apart so we can get crispy sides on every side. When you keep your biscuits in a round, it does help them rise a little bit better, keeps them together and using their own energy. So I'm gonna put these in the oven at 450 for about 15 minutes until golden brown, and then I'm gonna melt some butter over top. All right, you'll see the finished product in a minute.